Hello, welcome Solex Nation. We're glad to be back with you this Wednesday night. We have Dave Discovery coming up.
Yes, we've been talking, you guys, ad nauseum, I know. But we have a cool announcement for the international folks. We've already shipped out your swag bags. If you ordered a swag bag, it's on its way. And so we're crossing our fingers that customs doesn't stop things for you. But they're on their way.
They're on their way. And domestic swag bags are going to be there in time for Dave Discovery, just a few days before Dave Discovery is set to start. So those will be shipping out soon.
Yeah, we have several hundred of those that we're building. The internationals is a little bit easier to get yours put together and out the door. We have hundreds and hundreds of domestic that we're getting out the door, but they will be out the door and on time to you. So we're excited.
We are excited about that. Now, as you know, you can no longer order swag bags, but you can still get a Dave Discovery ticket. As we've seen a lot of people signed on in the last few weeks, remember the people that you are signing on. Tell them about Dave Discovery. This training will be so valuable for them, especially as they're getting started. So make sure that you help them know what Dave Discovery is and get them signed up for that.
Yeah, we've had so many people on this call. A lot of those guests that we've had in the last weeks are going to be at Dave Discovery.
Yes.
And they're obviously experts in the field of health and wellness and pets, but also they are experts in the AO scan technology, and they're developing experts in other ways. And so they're big contributors. They'll be there for that, but we're also going to bring forth a bunch of business content as well. So for the new QLAs that are jumping in to make this a real business, this is a place for them to jump into in order to feel like they're getting all the information they want.
It's true. We have more than 15 presenters, and we have about 10 hours, maybe a little bit more of content.
Yeah.
So it is well worth the cost and your time to watch.
Yeah.
Now,
so can I mention that
Sure.
those will be available up until March 3rd.
The tickets for Dave
The
Discovery.
tickets for Dave Discovery. Once March 3rd closed, we actually have had to reach a point where we do cut those off in order for the functionality to work on the 4th. And so virtual tickets are accessible up until March 3rd, and then it's just those that are at the event, and we're going to have a great time. We're excited. We're already recording a ton of stuff, and it's going to be fun.
Now, this is our third Dave Discovery, and we do have a little theme with our Days of Discovery where we introduce new products.
Yeah, new stuff.
So
we have a little teaser.
We do have a little teaser. So this would be, we would be remiss if we didn't introduce some new products. Now, yes, that is a plural, products.
Yeah. Well, we showed the negative ion shaker ball.
Oh yeah.
We did show that. We gave that away with the shaker cup.
We did give that away.
But should we jump into the teaser?
Yeah, we have a little teaser, something that's coming out. So see if you can figure out what this is. All right, so what do you think it is? You know.
I know what it is. What do they think it is?
I know what it is, and I love it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I've been using it for. Okay, I'm stopping right there. Come to Dave Discovery. You're gonna find out what it is. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's something that I think most people, if not everyone, will enjoy.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
Another thing. We're in the month of February. We launched a special for the month of February where everybody could give themselves a raise if they enroll a new PC, preferred customer, or QLA. That is not a 65% on points bonus, but a 75%.
On the liftoff bonus.
On the liftoff bonus. Yes. So when your new enrollee buys a device, signs up for the service, sets up their automatic renewal for that service, not 65%, but 75% is paid out on that. So
we've never done that before.
Never done that before, and a lot of people are taking advantage of that.
Yes. Okay, now last week on the call we had a contest, and we asked you to go onto our YouTube channel and to comment on our weekly update video. And let us know your favorite book or podcast or something that's been influential in your life. And so we had a lot of you go on and give us some great suggestions. So if you haven't had a chance to go read those comments, go do that, and you'll get some great suggestions on what to read and what to listen to. But we're going to go ahead and do a drawing, and we are giving away a Dave Discovery ticket to the winner.
A virtual ticket to the winner. And here's the winner. Okay. Anthea Elward. Would I say that right? Is that how you
Anthea Elward. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Anthea, we love you. Let's read what you had to say. Confessions of a Real Estate Millionaire by I'm having a tough time.
Hand it over. Not that I can do any better. By Dimfna Boholt. And okay, so that's the first book, and the second one is Limitless.
By Jim Quick. I read that book maybe 6 months ago. That's a great book.
Great suggestion.
And a great podcast for that matter. Jim Quick has a great podcast out there. So
called Limitless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Perfect.
Thank you, Anthea. We will get that Dave Discovery ticket to you, and congratulations. Now, we've had quite a few people enroll people this week, and they're taking advantage of the extra liftoff bonus.
Yeah.
But we had 7 in our top enrollers this week. 7 people.
7.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's huge. So we're going to go ahead and read those names to you. For the week of February 7th through February 13th, our second highest enrollers are
Lucina Pasternak,
Rhonda Hendry,
Deborah Carlson,
Tammy Arthur,
and Mark Armstrong.
And our top enrollers are
Michael Vincent
and Hasea Now. Wow, congratulations. Great job, all 7 of you.
And top enrollers, if you're the top enroller, that's a Solex Silver coin.
Solex Silver coin, and you're now a part of our legacy group.
I get nervous with the Solex Silver coin. I feel like we're running almost out.
We are.
We're
getting to the end.
Coin.
Yes.
So at some point, we're going to have to transition to some other great prize to be part of. But for you two,
you're in.
Yep, you're in. Welcome to the legacy group.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get on with our call. We hope you love it.
We're excited and happy that we've got Deborah Bruce back with us for this call this week. We love every time you come, Deborah.
Thank you.
You always bring so much good information. And Deborah Bruce is one of the instructors in Solex University. In fact, she's in all 3 phases of Solex University. Deborah, you're here to help put together the Day of Discovery. Why don't you give us just a little taste of what you're going to be talking about in Day of Discovery?
Day of Discovery is going to be awesome. I'm thrilled to be able to just present more information on how to understand reports, how to connect the dots in the reports that you do, how to understand the body systems report. That's a really valuable one that helps you to put together some of the main lifestyle changes and even more importantly, the main emotions that are affecting all 13 body systems. So we're going to go into that as well. And so it's just going to be really exciting to help everybody that has a mobile scanner get more comfortable with the information that's coming out and being able to feel more confident in making sense out of it and helping the people that they're scanning.
Thank you. Well, and the thing is we're going to make it a little bit more difficult too for Deborah on that Day of Discovery. She's actually going to take a report that was done remotely. It was done by a remote scan, and she's going to go through the entire body systems reports, and not knowing the individual other than just the basic information that came in on the report, and she'll go through and connect all those dots. You're going to find her presentation fascinating. It did for me. It was incredible how well that report came together and how accurate and spot on it was. But another thing that you did in phase 1, you talked a little bit about your brother and an experience you had with a scan. Would you share that with us here?
My brother is 5 years younger than me, and we're really close. And a number of years ago, he was having some problems from exposure to gasoline, and I got to work with him through that. But he called me towards the end of July and just said, Deb, something's really, really wrong. I mean, seriously wrong. I feel like I'm dying. And I was like, oh my gosh, get down here. He lives about 4 hours away. So he came and he pretty much lived with me for almost 8 weeks. He had to go home each week for a day to take care of other business, but he came in and it actually scared me because he was a funny gray color. He wasn't able to sleep at all. He hadn't slept in a couple weeks.
Wow.
And he just, I was genuinely fearful for what was going on. So I started scanning him every day, complete scan, vitals, comprehensive, emotions. And I couldn't understand. It was like he came up, every single thing was dehydrated, absolute dehydrated. And he also came up for a bunch of chemicals, tons of chemicals. And so I worked on him almost every day for 8 weeks. It turns out, so he was drinking 3-4 cups of coffee a day and having a glass of wine in the evening and no water.
Yeah.
Just he doesn't like drinking water. So that had a trickle-down effect in the whole body. But at the same time, he started coming up in every report for chemicals with the liver, chemicals with the heart, chemicals with the lungs, chemicals with everything. And so I immediately put him on close to a gallon of water a day. He started drinking. He went out with me twice a day for 45 minutes to take a brisk walk. I put him on the minerals, Solex Gold, put him on some other things that he was showing up as needing, and he started to make progress. And so over that 6, 7, 8 weeks, he got back where he was sleeping.
That's great.
He got back where he had his color back. He had barely been able to eat before that because it was just sitting there. Got him on some enzymes, just a well-rounded program. And over 8 weeks, he made rapid progress. But it was interesting that it took those number of scans before it finally narrowed down that there was this one chemical, frequency for one chemical that started showing up every single time.
Wow.
And so we researched the chemical, and I asked him, I said, what have you been doing? Where would you have? He says, I don't know. I haven't done anything. And I was like, come on. You can talk to your brother a little different than you do when you're working with someone. I was like, come on, what have you been doing? It turned out that he had, the brain, it'll nudge you, right? He's like, oh my gosh. He goes back in July before he came to see me. For 4 weeks, he had been working on some multi-million dollar homes up in the ski town he lives in, and he had been cleaning the metal framework around all their doors, all their windows, on their roofs, and whatever. And I was like, well, what did you use to do that? And he gave me the name of what he used to do it. And we looked it up, and the chemical that kept coming up was the main ingredient in that thing that he had used for 6 to 8 weeks. So I asked him, I was like, well, did you wear a respirator? He goes, yes. I had a full respirator on with the little cartridges on the side, changed them regularly. He says, I don't get it. And I'm thinking, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, did you wear gloves? No. I'm like, okay. So he's got his hands in these chemicals for 8 weeks straight, and it just went right through the skin, right into the bloodstream, right into the system. So we started working on a detox for him specifically for that chemical. And he called me the other day, and I asked him how he was doing, and he's not quite doing a gallon, but he's drinking water, he's doing great, he's back to work. So I was so grateful, because for me, having availability to the scanner, being able to run it every day, seeing what came up with a theme consistently, I honestly feel like it saved my brother's life.
That's wonderful.
If he had kept going the way he was going, he personally felt like he wouldn't have lasted that much longer. So it was just a really interesting experience, and it challenged me, and it just took connecting the dots between every single test and over repeated scans, seeing themes.
Seeing the trend.
Right.
I think what impressed me the most about this story, what you've just explained, was the chemical, and how this obscure chemical just kept coming up. This is what you have to do, is learn how to read your report. Look for those anomalies. Things that doesn't make sense, but it really does.
Well, and I think what's important is, a lot of you are thinking, oh yeah, well she's been doing this for how long, whatever she's experienced. I didn't know what that chemical was.
Right.
I had no knowledge of that chemical. I didn't know what it was, what it did. In fact, the chemical was the chemical name in the scanner, but you just had to look and see what it was in with brand names. And it turned out that the brand name of what he was using, that was the chemical that was listed first. So it doesn't matter how experienced you are or non-experienced with a scanner. If you start doing your research and start connecting dots and seeing themes, and don't be afraid of the words that show up, just do your research and learn what they are, you'll be able to connect those valuable dots.
It's interesting that our body knows these things. The body knows, now the body doesn't know the name of a chemical, but it knows
the frequency.
And so looking at those frequency disruptions and then taking the time to go through and research that out, drill down, well, where did this come from? He didn't even think about it until you drilled down on, well, what were you doing? And then all of a sudden this information came up. That's a great story. Thanks for sharing it with us.
Oh, thank you for the scanner.
So we'll see you at Day of Discovery.
Be there.
Yeah. Well, here we are on another Wednesday call. I love these calls. We get so many good questions and we get the opportunity to interact with you somewhat, even though it's through this medium. It's been a great week this week. We've had so many visitors in, and especially having Deborah here is always helpful and insightful for us to get more information to you and to help educate you more on this wonderful tool that you enjoy. Well, at least some of you enjoy. We have some of you that are a little frustrated, and the question that I want to address today deals with why don't we have more of these things that I've requested in the scanner? Why can't we check for meniscus, or why can't we check for these different things? And when I tell you that every one of these requests is taken seriously here, I couldn't be more serious about that. Every one of these requests come in, but there is a process that we must go through to make sure that we can put them in and that they maintain a level of accuracy that we have set at 85%. And if we can't maintain an 85% accuracy consistently, then we have to keep it out, or even some things we've had to remove. Over the next few weeks and months, we will be adding more. There's going to be some major improvements, and not necessarily changes, but improvements to the scanner as you are currently working with right now. And we go into that in detail on Day of Discovery. So I'm going to leave it at that, but some good things. So make sure you tune in for that. But back to the question, why aren't these things in? And the reason is one, we haven't been able to get the right algorithm written for it to where it will interface with the scanner and present and produce a repeatable result 85% of the time. Without that, we can't move forward. Once we do get to that, then the next level is we have to make sure that it fits into your reports that show up on your screen. Now, it's a lot more complex, that report, than what it may appear as like an Excel sheet or something on your. Everything is there. It has to be written in real time into your report. So by adding one thing or even taking one thing out, that whole thing has to be rewritten so that it will show up on your reports accurately. And so this measurement actually lines up with the right thing. So I hope that makes sense. So there's a lot that needs to go into making that happen. Like I said, with the enhancements that are coming, a lot of that will be resolved, and some, not all, but some of the things that you've requested to be added you're gonna find in there. So just know that we're working on them as expeditiously as we can, but at the same time wanting to maintain that level of repeatability and accuracy. So be patient just a little bit longer and enjoy the other functions of the device until we can get those things where you need to go. Okay, so this next question that came in, let me tell you what I've noticed over this last year. The depth of the questions being asked has really changed. So that's telling us that you are really paying attention to what these reports say. And so let me address this question like this. So this one is in macrominerals and heavy metals, microminerals, heavy metals, there seems to be an overlap. And sometimes, I think the question was specifically about manganese, was it shows in my heavy metals too much and in my minerals, not enough. Before I go into that explanation, let me explain this too. The other part of the question that came in was, are we looking at the blood or are we looking at the tissue? These are incredibly good questions. So let me try to address it the best I can. When we introduce an algorithm to a target, to the individual, the person at the profile, we present a frequency for, in this case, manganese. We don't specify blood or tissue or organ. That algorithm is presented and the results back is it's either high or low. Now that is presented, in this case, twice. Once for microminerals and the other one for heavy metals. The best way I can answer this, and this may not be satisfactory, but it's the best I can do. For example, if you're taking, in this case, manganese from a supplement, okay, not through a food source, but a supplement, you may be taking a supplement that your body cannot break down for whatever reason. It's not being assimilated. But the body says, I need this. And so it will, instead of expelling it, it will store it. And generally that's stored in the organs and the fatty tissue, okay, until it can break it down. Well, when a manganese is introduced to the body that can be assimilated, then all of a sudden it says, whoa, I got it, and it will then start to release what's been stored that wasn't being able to break down. Sometimes, if you're taking a supplement like manganese and it goes in, but your body can only break it down partially, then it might satisfy what the body needed in the micromineral, but also show up as a toxicity because the balance of it that couldn't be broke down is being stored. Now, these are hypotheses that we've developed based on how we present the information to the body. So there could be some variance in this. But that's the best way I can explain this question. And again, great question, and we will dig deeper into this as we go on. But anytime you're taking a supplement, and anytime something shows up on your report as too much, too high, then I would, if it was me, I would probably change the brand of that supplement that I'm taking. Again, you've got a wonderful tool in there called Supplement Library. Load them in. Load in different, like manganese, maybe load it in from different suppliers and see which ones start to come up more regularly and more consistently. These enhancements that we're talking about that are coming and that will be announced at Day of Discovery are going to make more sense out of these questions that you've been answering or that you've been asking. I think you're going to find that a lot of this is going to become more clear as these enhancements get added to it, because we're able to see and drill a little deeper when these responses come back from the algorithms presented to the body. So I look forward to it Day of Discovery, and until next week, see you then.
Loran, we've had a bunch of people in the last few weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. We've
Dr.
had
Tucker
and Dr. Gursky. We've had Amber. We've had Deborah Bruce. Yep. Tons of people here. Obviously, you guys have received a lot of their wisdom. They've been here for these calls, for Day of Discovery.
Yeah, this is going to be an awesome Day of Discovery.
Yep, it is. And then they've even been here to get prepped for Phase 2 material.
That's right.
For Solix University. Field, we hope you guys have enjoyed it. We're going to continue to do our best to bring these great minds forward, even onto these Wednesday calls. But you know what? This week, it's President's Day on Monday.
Okay.
The offices are closed on Monday, the 21st, for my birthday. No, I mean President's Day. I'm sorry, President's Day. So for President's Day...
Any day he can take off he wants.
Yes.
It's a holiday every month. Somehow there's a holiday every month.
Somehow. I don't even know how they do this. I love them for it, though. Okay, so what are they going to do?
I think they should tell us what their favorite gift is, or their favorite Solix product is outside of the subscription.
Yes, because everybody's going to list the AO Scan subscription. So outside of the subscription.
Outside of the subscription.
On this call, YouTube, comment your favorite Solex product besides the subscription.
I think that's a good one.
And then what are they going to earn? What's your favorite thing? What are you going to give them?
My favorite thing, Kai, would probably be the Bluetooth headset, and I'll tell you why. If you're out, or if I'm out and I'm with somebody and I don't have my scanner with me, but I've got my Bluetooth headset.
Why on earth would that happen?
Not
Excuse
very often,
me?
but it does. It does. But this is really a good way to introduce it to somebody too.
Yeah. Is
you can take their phone, you can log into the scanner, and with the headset, you can do a full scan on them with the Bluetooth headset on their own device.
Yes.
So if you
perfect.
don't have your device with you, it's a great way. So why don't we give away a Bluetooth headset?
That's a great idea. That's perfect, and it also helps us all understand more clearly that the progression of the AO scan technology and everyone's subscription is that it's more usable just about anywhere you can have a Bluetooth connection to use the transducer, but also have an internet connection.
A Wi-Fi. Yeah.
It works.
Yep.
It works across the board, and so that's a great one. I want you guys to know, Loran, I had to arm wrestle him into what his favorite thing was, because he couldn't come up with it. It was so difficult. He loves it all. He's
love
always
it all.
come up with good ideas. But this week we're going to draw Bluetooth headset, bone transducer headset for the person or the person we draw for the comments of the thing that you like. Remember to write in the comments the thing you like.
It's President's Day,
Yeah,
and it's your birthday.
it is.
We'll give away two.
Oh,
We're
one
gonna
for
do
each of
two.
us.
We're going to do two.
Okay, one for two
Let
of you.
us know what your favorite product is.
Perfect.
Okay?
Bye.
See you. Oh. I know. But what was I supposed to talk about?
You're selling